What's the best-selling book in the world, any takers? Yes, it's the SO. Well done, sir. It is the Bible. Got another one. Are you a good person? For this, I've got a prize. Hands up if you're a good person. Hands up if you're a good person. Yeah? You're a good person? Say, are you a good person? No, good. Let's talk to you anyway. Come on, what's your name? Come talk to me for a few minutes. Come on. What's your name? Josh. I'm Bob. You happy to talk to me just for a few minutes? Okay, take a step. So I asked Josh if he was a good person, and he said no, which is unusual, because most people say yes. But if you're happy, Josh, I'm going to test it, and if you are a good person, then I'm going to give you this prize, this £5. Is that okay? Yeah? If you don't pass the test, though, I've got prizes to give you anyway, so you're not going to lose out whatever happens. Is that right? Okay? Right. Would you agree with me that honesty is the best policy? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to ask you some slightly personal questions. If you're honest with me, that helps. I want to be honest with you. I've got a message that I want to share with you as well. Is that okay? Did you come with anyone, Josh? Who are you here with?
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? And girlfriend? Is he a good person? He is. Ah, fantastic. See? Right, so you've been contradicted already. You don't know yourself very well, do you, Josh, apparently? Okay, would you say that you're a rational thinker?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have to check. You have to check something about your own mind. Maybe I need to ask her all the questions. Okay, I'm going to posit some things. I'm going to say, if this is true, logically, rationally, what will follow? And I need you to be rational there, if that's okay. And are you open-minded? Yeah. Willing to listen to other people's points of view? Fantastic. Okay, let's crack on then. I want just one last thing. I just want to let you know that I did fail this test, so it's looking bad for both of us at the moment. Right, so John, first question. I want you to think of your whole life as far back as you can remember, and roughly tell me how many lies you've told in your whole life. Sorry, it's getting personal. That happened quick.
I have no idea.
You have no idea, but it's a number, a finite number, yeah? Probably. Okay, so we've told lies, yeah? And what would you call somebody who's told lies?
A liar.
A lie, yeah. If I lied to you, Josh, you'd say, Bob, don't lie to me. You're a liar. Okay. Second question, Josh. As far back as you can remember, have you ever taken something that didn't belong to you?
I've probably taken something from my parents, yeah.
Okay, and what would you call somebody who takes something that doesn't belong to them?
Right, technically I'm a thief.
Thief? Okay, so Josh is being honest with me, so I appreciate that. But so far you've told me that you're a liar and a thief, yeah? Not looking good so far, but I'm completely with you on this as well. I'd be the same. Third question, Josh. Have you ever stubbed your toe or hit your hammer on your hand and shouted, "Oh my God," or something like that? Do you know what that's called?
It's a bit blasphemy.
It's called blasphemy, yeah. So I'll try and repeat, because I know I'm mic'd up and all that, I'll try and repeat for everybody else. So Josh said, correctly answered, that's blasphemy. And in God's law, because all these rules come from, all these tests come from the Bible, God says, he will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. So he sees it very serious. I suppose a way of illustrating would be, if there was somebody you cared about, like your parents or somebody who took good care of you, and then other people started using their names as a swear word, you'd be really offended, wouldn't you? Because they've been caring and kind to you, and then people are treating their names really horribly. Does that make sense? Okay. Have you always honoured your parents, Josh? Have you always honoured your parents?
Yeah.
Always? Did they teach you to lie and say lying was okay? Did they teach you to steal stuff and say that was okay?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So when you did those things, it was dishonouring to your parents in some way, shape or form?
I guess.
I guess so, okay, alright. Well, let's just leave that as neutral at the moment, okay? But we looked at let's leave that in the middle. I'm not going to argue the point with you. It sounds like you've been good to your parents, which is amazing. So, Josh, this is the position I want to put you in. I want to imagine that you died. I hope that's a long time from now, okay? I'm going to put you in a courtroom. In front of you is God, who knows everything about your life and my life and everything that we've done, not just the things that we've spoken about. And he's got his law on one side. We've looked at 4 of the laws, the 10 commandments, and you told me you've broken at least 3 of them. So would you be found innocent or guilty, Josh, in that courtroom?
Hopefully innocent.
Hopefully innocent, and why is that?
Well, I don't be found guilty, do you?
You don't want that. Nobody wants to be found guilty, of course. But if you actually have broken those laws, and if the evidence is there, and if the judge knows it, what would he do? Innocent.
I guess he'd punish you. I guess.
Oh, that's a step ahead. But would he know that you've broken his laws?
I think he would, yeah.
Yeah, he will do. And then he's also the judge. Will he decide that you are guilty or innocent?
He would decide you're guilty.
Absolutely. That makes sense. He knows everything about us, and you just told me that you've broken his laws, as have I. So I just want one thing, I want to imagine that behind you, in this courtroom, Josh, there are two doors. One is to freedom, and one is to punishment. If, as you've told me, you're going to be found guilty by a judge who knows everything about us, will he send you through the freedom door, or will he send you through the guilty door, punishment door, sorry?
Well, if he knows everything and through the laws and stuff, he'd probably send you to the bad one.
To the bad one? I like the way you renamed it the bad door and the good door. Yeah, so it's one punishment, and in God's word, that's called hell. Well, the final question to you, Josh, I don't know where you stand in terms of your beliefs and things, but if all of that is true, so here's the premise, if all of that is true, and that logically a just judge is going to send you through the door called punishment, the bad door, would that concern you?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on what's on the other side.
So the descriptor, that door is to a place called hell, and there's nothing good about that place. So same question, would it concern you if it was true? Okay, that's rational, that seems logical to me. So this is the bit that I want to share with you, Josh, because oftentimes when we're talking to people here, they'll say, well, surely God is forgiving and he doesn't want us to go through that door. And that's true, but he can't deny his nature. He can't be less just than a human judge, okay? So he knows you're guilty, he has to do something about it, but he doesn't want you to go through that door. So this is what he does. So he himself comes down to earth 2,000 years ago. Have you heard of Jesus? Is that okay? So he comes down to earth, he lives a perfect life. We've looked at 4 of the 10 commandments, but he never broke any of them in his thought or his words or his action the whole of his life. At the end of his life, he voluntarily laid down his life. He didn't have to die, but he voluntarily did that. And when he died, the punishment that is due to you and me as well, because I'm a lawbreaker as well, was laid down on him. He took that punishment and then he died. 3 days later he rose to life, he was with his disciples for a few days and then he ascended into heaven. So now what's happened is, if we go back into the courtroom, Josh, you and I are both guilty of breaking that law, and there is a punishment that's due, but it's a fine, if you like, that needs to be paid, and it's already been paid by Jesus because he did it for us. And so what's happened, what can happen, is there can be a legal exchange. It's like somebody, in a human court, if somebody paid your fine, you'd be able to go, and it would be both just and loving, because they did it for you, and the punishment would have been paid. In this court, it's the same thing. Jesus is willing to do it for you and me, and all we have to do is accept it and perform this kind of legal exchange. And the way that happens is that it's 2 things. One's called repent, which is a long Bible word that just means we change our mind. We recognise that we are doing these moral law breakings, and we don't want to be like that anymore. And the second thing is we believe and trust that what Jesus did for us in that death on our behalf is all that we need. There's nothing that we need to do now in terms of our own works, but he's done it all for us. So those 2 things, repent and trust. And then there's this legal exchange that happens, and when that happens, Josh, to people who are in that courtroom, because we'll all be in that courtroom, it's as if Jesus comes in and says, yes, Josh, Bob, you're guilty, but I paid the price for you. And then the judge can dismiss your case and my case and send us through the good door, if that's the bad door, through the good door, and it's legal, just, fair and loving, because the punishment, the crime has been done, we can't deny that. The punishment has been paid, but kindness has been shown because somebody else took the punishment for us. Does that make sense, Josh? Yeah? Question to you then, when would be the right time to enact that legal exchange of repenting and trust? What would you say?
What do you mean?
When would be the right time to say sorry to God and to believe what Jesus has done for us? Would you say?
Right now?
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? If I was to say to you, Josh, I've got £1 million that I want to give to you, and you say, well, I'm in a couple of weeks' time and collect it, that wouldn't make any sense at all. You might as well get it straight away. But this is even more important than that. This is about eternity, this is about eternal life, this is infinity compared to just a straightforward million. So that makes perfect sense. So Josh, thank you for listening to me. I just want to remind you, it's those 2 things, it's repent and trust. Now, I said I would give you this if you passed the good person test, and you did not pass the good person test. Neither did anyone. If they were listening, neither did anyone else. But I'm going to give this to you anyway, because, well, a couple of things. This legal exchange of us being forgiven is offered freely. You know, you don't have to do anything to deserve it. I know we don't see cash very often these days. I'd really like you to think about what we've talked about, so hopefully when you do see a note, you'll think about that. Because it's a grace gift, and also I've got some other gifts for you here. So it's not a magic trick, but it's definitely going in there, still in there. I'm going to give that to you in a minute, but I just want everyone to give Josh a big round of applause and thank you for speaking to me.